Hello, it is Fraesna, and this is my first ever Sims 4 Let's Build. Today we're going to do a really simple little sunken starter, is what I'm calling it. You'll see why when I start building it. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it, so let's go. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do was actually get the sunken floor started. I learned this trick from watching another person's videos, Deligracy. I'll actually link the video that inspired me to do this in the description of hers, and I'd really encourage you to go watch it. But yeah, what I like to do in my videos is start with laying down the floor plan first, and then adding everything in around it. Sometimes I have to go back through and edit it a little bit, but overall it seems to work okay. Now, if you can actually see in the background, I started this build before I actually know this was the first thing I ever recorded, but the original one that I did not like at all, so I decided to redo it, and I built it right next to the old one for some reason. It didn't delete the old one, so every once in a while you can kind of see it in the background. They look pretty much alike, but I just thought it was kind of funny now that I'm noticing that. Now, one of the things that I really don't like about The Sims 4 is just how hard it is to match the colors sometimes, because like a lot of the windows and doors, they all have, not all of them, a lot of them have the dark brown. They're not always the exact same type of dark brown. Like the stairs and the windows especially, you can tell aren't the same color exactly, but I don't know, I kind of worked with what I got. So my original thought was to make this more of a modern house, but looking at the outside, I guess it kind of looks more like a modern 60s-esque style. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. One thing you might notice while I'm building is that, honestly, for a lot of my builds, I tend to stick to the same color scheme for most of the rooms, the same type of flooring and all of that, which I know is kind of plain and not really realistic, but I don't know, it bothers me to have them too crazy, and I like the uniformity a lot more. I do try and make them a little less uniform later on, but it doesn't really work. Besides, I just think it looks kind of nice. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to work on is this little kitchen area. It turned out a little bit smaller than I was imagining, and I realized that there wasn't really a spot to put a table. So what I ended up doing is going back into the build mode and adding a tiny, or a short wall there. Oh look, see, I go all over the place. I guess I'm gonna go and do the bathroom now. The bathroom, I'll say, is definitely my least favorite part of this house. I tried to make it seem a bit more like an older style bathroom. It's not really been kept up, and it came out okay. Okay, these pillars right here, I really liked the idea of having the pillars to separate everything, but as you'll see later on, I had to take out at least that one by the door there. And I think the one on the other side of the wall as well, because it blocked some of the stuff I was wanting to put down. And I completely forgot about the move objects cheat, which would have made that irrelevant. And I do end up actually putting the move objects cheat in later, but trust me, that wasn't the only thing I forgot in this build, as you'll see. It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, so I wanted to put a fireplace right here, and as you can see, I'm having a really hard time getting it to put down or plop down. Then I realized it's because those pillars in the way, so I just delete the pillars, and now there's this weird gap between the, well, not gap, but just the seam between the brick and the paint. Looks really odd. And I could have changed that with the move objects cheat, but dummy forgot. I think this is actually where I put the move objects cheat on, if I remember correctly. I actually had to pause the video to like go and look up what it was because I didn't remember, but we're all good. You know, it's a learning experience, and we're good. Oh, okay, so I think this is where I start adding all of my plants. I don't know, I just have this thing about plants. I really like to have lots of plants and greenery everywhere. So this house is pretty much full to the brim of plants. And honestly, if I would have deleted some of the plants, I could have added a lot more stuff to it, but I ran out of money. Because this is supposed to be a starter house. So it's a house that you could buy and move into right away as soon as you start playing with the 20,000 simoleons you get. I have a really hard time doing that because I like to make really big, extravagant houses. This is kind of a nice challenge to myself, and honestly, I think it turned out okay. So the rest of this video is pretty much just finishing touches of adding in some decorations and stuff. And this whole time I never noticed, and I still didn't notice until I was actually taking the pictures and doing my outro video, that I didn't add lights. There's no lights in this entire place. So the good thing at least is that if this house is going to actually be used, there's a lot of plants that you can delete to get some money to buy lights. I did definitely forget that. I also didn't add any skill items, which I almost always add in easel because just it's the easiest way to make money. It's so easy to make money that way. But yeah, it's kind of dark, so oopsies. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. We are about to go into the tour phase. So it's just a bunch of pictures, and I hope that you enjoy. real quick, I noticed there's a gap in the ceiling in the top right. That's just an issue with doing the sunken floor style. I don't know how to fix it, but, you know. Alright, that's it. That was my Sunken starter house build and tour. It is a starter home, so you can buy it with a 20,000 starter simoleons. It was a challenge to myself, and I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you think. That's it from me. Have a good one, and peace out.